All right, so today on Soul City Underground, we're gonna make a new video, and this video is a review of the Nooelec GOES bundle. Now this one's been outside. There's a spider here, there's a spider here, there's a spider there. I'm not going to disturb it. I'm going to take it back outside. I brought it in just to film it. So long story short, this is the antenna I used to show the rotating Earth at the beginning of the video. Right, that was taken over summer solstice. What I plan to do is take another one at winter solstice and then see what it looks like, see what the difference is 6 months later. But I started taking that video at 10 o'clock on Saturday morning. It ran all day Sunday. Solstice was like 4 a.m. Sunday, the exact geometric solstice, whatever you want to call it, and then I cut it off Monday at 10:30. All right, so this is the GOES satellite dish. The company that sells it is called Nooelec, Nooelec. Sorry, I'm butchering that. I call it Nooelec, but I like them a lot. So this dish came in a box. The tripod didn't come with it. The tripod I bought separate for 60 bucks. I'll put some links to these in the video, and if you want to click on them and buy them, that's cool. So the dish came, and I'll zoom in here a minute on how to put it together. The feed's separate. This is the feed. It kind of bolts together here. I don't want to disturb the spiders. Bolts together here. Uh-oh, too late. Bolts together here. It has a clamping system. If there's anything negative about this thing, and there's not, I love this thing. This is one of my prized possessions. I keep it out in the yard. It's survived, a month outside so far. Anytime I want to see the planet, I just turn on the PC and start downloading all the imagery from space. And it brings a whole set of products down, like 19 different full disk images of Earth from GOES 19, which is 22,000 miles away. And night and day it works, infrared, long wave, all kinds of different views. You can see all the water vapor at different levels in the atmosphere, plus the full disk of Earth all the time. It's very robust, and we'll go into details what the kit has. And on the back of it, there's a box. I've got it kind of tie wrapped on here. It's the LNA, and we'll talk about that. It doesn't come in a box. I had to build a little box, and I'll show how I did that. But this is the dish, super cool, love it. You could clamp it on a different pole, right? Here's an old DirecTV pole. You could clamp it on that, it would definitely fit. And you don't have to buy the tripod. But I did, and you can move it around and see where your best view of the satellite is. If you guys have some questions on what GOES is, I have a fact sheet here. GOES stands for Geostationary Operational Environmental Satellite. And they sit up 22,000 miles above Earth, geostationary orbit. They're there right above Earth, same time. Well, when I say same time, the same piece of Earth all the time's underneath them. So they're not close to Earth. For example, the space station's, 250 miles up, right? The Meteor satellite, which I also record, is 500 miles up. This is 22, and it sits there, and it's geostationary. There's currently two of them that I can bring down, GOES 18 and 19. They were built by Lockheed Martin for NASA and NOAA, National Oceanic and Atmospheric Association. I'm kind of making that up. They were launched in 2016 and 2025 on Atlas V and Falcon Heavy rockets. And their purpose is to monitor hurricanes, thunderstorms, lightning, wildfires, oceans, and space weather. There's also a view, and I'm not sure how often it comes up, it shows rocket plumes. So there's an infrared view. And one time, Elon launched a Starship, and I had this thing out, and I didn't see the rocket plume disc. Maybe it doesn't do it all the time. I haven't seen one for a while, but I would have paid money to see that. It sits on a frequency, if you guys are familiar with AM and FM and stuff, like FM's like 88.1. This would be 1694.1 megahertz. So it's like, twice as high as FM. We'll come back to that. So what kind of images does it send? It sends visible light, infrared, heat images, water vapor views, lightning views, smoke and dust views, and full disk Earth. And that's kind of the thrust of it there. Anyhow, So let's go look at the rest of the stuff. All right, so I want to talk about what comes in the kit and how to improve it if you want to. So there's the dish and the feed. The tripod doesn't come as mentioned previously, but what else comes is the SDR, which is the software-defined radio. It's Nooelec is the manufacturer. Smarty. Hold that up there. Hopefully you guys can see that. Right. Let me zoom in here. I got too much light. Here we go. So there's Smart T. Hopefully it's visible. What it does send a voltage. It sends, they call it bias T, and you have to have it set up and correct in sat dump, which I don't have on the screen currently, to send electricity to the LNA. The LNA is on the back of the antenna in a box, but I do have one here that looks similar. This is a Nooelec, that's how you say it. LNA, it's got SMA fittings. This is a hydrogen one, but this one here is for GOES. And what I do with these, okay, so the SDR is hooked to your PC. Another top tip here is to have I thought I had one laying here, a flexible dongle so that the USB doesn't break off on your PC, right? And I'll dig one out. So what I do on this, so this is on your PC, then you have to have a cable. The cable that came with the kit is some nice stuff. This is LMR 400. It is 30 feet, it's 10 meters, it's got the SMA connections. As far as the hierarchy of coax goes, SMR 400 is the top, okay? There's like cable, which is RG6, you know, like for your TV, UHF stuff. There's RG11, which is stiffer cable. There's the ham stuff like RG8U. That's what your grandpa used to connect to a CB, right? And then this LMR 400 stuff costs a lot of money. So the problem I have with this, and the reason I'm not using it, is I feed through a dehumidifier drain out of the Radio Shack here. It's over in the corner, and it goes out in the yard. So there's 9 feet in the dehumidifier drain roughly, and then it's too far. I had to get a longer piece of LMR 400, and for example, I got a 50-foot piece, and it was like $150, something like that. It's expensive. The Nooelec bundle itself, I'll try to zoom in here onto the monitor, runs about, let's see, $219. That's what I paid for it too. I got it April 17th, you know, it's June 22nd or so. I love it. And a couple things I like about it. Well, a couple points I like to make is I've been around a long time. I don't think they're going to make this forever. If you look at how companies make products, you have to have a market for them. Not sure how many people are into downloading the GOES images, right? Earth images. I'm one of them. And do they have the market? So where I'm going with that is I would buy one sooner rather than later before they disappear. The question is, okay, Kevin, can we, sorry, hopefully you can see that on the screen. Can we make this with a DirecTV dish? You probably could. The tricky part is, you know, this feed horn here, right? You have to buy this or do something with this, measure it, have your DirecTV working, all your cables. This is just so much easier. They got the LNA, they got the SDR, which produces the voltage, and they've got the cable. So real quick, and I want to make this a faster video than most of them. So here's the cable. This comes with it, LNA, SDR. I think there's a couple other connectors with it. I'd have to look. Maybe there isn't. So what I do is I try to put this in a box. I bought a box off Amazon, my favorite vendor. And you can buy these bulkheads, this SMA bulkhead type thing. Hopefully you guys are seeing that. And, you know, drill a hole with a step bit drill, put it in, because the plastic will jump around on you. Put it in here, make sure it's not leaking, have the 2 connectors, have the LNA in here, seal it. Here's one I made for, this is for Meteor. It says NOAA, so I don't have a screwdriver to take it open, but you can see the bulkheads, And now one other thing, it's a directional thing, so the voltage has to come in one side or the other. You could also power it with a USB cord if you had to, if you didn't have a SDR with voltage, with the bias T. Most of them have a voltage built into them. So waterproof box, hung it on the side. I bought the 50 feet of LMR 400, which works great. And if the dish wasn't here in the shack, I could show you it running. I'm going to anyhow, outside. So there's all that. There's the Solstice movie. And let me take it outside and hook it up. Okay, I just brought it back outside. I'm trying to put the legs where they were. We'll figure out pointing it in a minute. Looks like no spiders were harmed in the creation of this video. And the goal is, for what it's worth, okay, here's the dish. I'm trying to hit the satellite between the trees, right? And for somehow it's working. I'll bring it on screen in a minute and talk about it. There's my meteor antenna, which we're going to see also. So there it is, installed. I have like a U-bolt trying to hold that leg down there because I don't want the wind to whip it or anybody else. Meteor antenna. Uh-oh. Garden 4 needs cleaned up. Okay, I want to show a quick way that I adjust the satellite dish outside to pick up better. So I create a remote desktop and I can see sat dump from outside when I'm out there by the antenna. And I'll turn it sideways. Come on. Yeah. So I go outside. I need to get back up here. Come here, bro. Okay. And you can see the constellation here. You can see the SNR. So it's all about getting the average SNR up as much as you can. And at 4, which is what it's running on the screen over here, boom. It's downloading discs all day long. So remote desktop, very useful outside. It's pretty sweet. You can check it from your car. I don't recommend doing that, but you can check it from remote areas. And you can actually, with the remote desktop, I don't have to sell this to you guys, but I can zoom in on the pictures too from afar if I'm doing this. Anyhow. Okay, so I lost the audio to this part, so I'm re-recording the audio. So it's not super live, but let's talk about it. What I'm showing on this screen here, I'm going to pause it for a second. This is the satellite dump screen. Sat Dump's the software. I mean, it's fantastic software. It's free. It's on the internet. It downloads a ton of data from, I don't know, over 100, maybe 500 different satellites. I'd have to count. So a couple settings here. You can't see at the top. I wish I could scroll up, but I select the SDR that I'm using, the Nooelec NSDR Smart T. I selected at the top. You have to make sure your system sees it. This pull down up here is my sample rate. I got 2.048. I don't know if you see that or not, top left corner. Below that, bias T is checked. That means it's sending a voltage out there to that GOES low noise amplifier behind the satellite dish, and providing it with power, and it accentuates the signal coming down. The FFT size FFT rate, that's the blue screen here. Those are just for visualization. You know, you try to make it where you see a broad band, and you can kind of see a broad band across the middle of the picture. Processing pipeline, I selected GOES HRIT. I typically select DC blocking. You see the check mark there, IQ swap, and there's a couple below that I check, fill in missing data. What's interesting here is you can see the constellation. Again, I stopped the video from running, and you can see the peak SNR was 5.2, average SNR is 4.1249, whatever, 4.129. That's good, that works. It just grinds out pictures of the Earth all day long. It's synced on the Viterbi thing, which is like a data correction thing, and it's synced on the deframer. And you can see one disc coming down currently. I'm gonna hit the go button. And one other thing before we keep going, one thing I forgot to do yesterday was talk about how do I find the GOES satellite. And you can get the longitude and azimuth from the internet, right? So I'm looking for GOES 19. And from my location here in Chattanooga, Soul City, it is it's about 165 degrees. It says on this chart I have 160 degrees. So what it's worth, so south is 180 on your phone. You have a compass on your phone. North is 0. South is 180. If you kind of aim to 165, 160, somewhere in there. And then also on your phone, there's a level, right? You can say, hey, Siri, open level. And you can put the level on the feed horn, and it says 44 degrees. If you're in that ballpark, 44 to 50 degrees, 160 to 165, if you're in my location, then you can aim the antenna and lock it in and get the good SNR. Okay, let's hit resume. All right, I think what I'm talking about here, yeah, okay, I'm showing the frequency. Earlier I said 88.1 is FM, so this is, almost whatever that is, 1,000 more, 1,600 more than 88.1 in megahertz. So it's a lot higher than FM. I think I mentioned that the wavelength is 7 inches. So that's how much the wavelength is. Somewhere around here, I can tell you the wavelength of FM radio waves are 10 feet long. Okay, so FM's 10 feet long, and GOES radio waves are 7 inches long. AM radio are hundreds to thousands of feet long. AM. Okay, so here I talk about the SNR. You guys can see where I'm scrolling on the screen there. 4, I'm happy with that. You can see the broadband. Sat dump just chugs. Also in sat dump, if you're not recording GOES, if you're recording another satellite like Meteor, it has a tracking function and a timer, and you leave your PC on, and it will record when Meteor flies over. It's fantastic. You just turn it on and sit back and wait for the couple flybys a day for each Meteor satellite. There's 2 of them. But today we're talking GOES. Okay, so there's a disc coming down. The VCID 14 and VCID 15 are different channels. I'm going to show the output. Okay, so I'm going to my file directory, and you can see it's in a folder called Live Output. And you can see when I did this, it was 6:23 at 3:32 in the afternoon. So hopefully I'll go open that one. Okay. And there's different subdirectories. I'm going to images. I'm going to GOES. Well, actually, I went to GOES 18. GOES 18 shows the Pacific Ocean, and I'm picking it up without moving the satellite dish. So there's the Pacific Ocean. It doesn't have the same amount of products as the other one. The products are different views. But here's a infrared map of water vapor, and you can see the United States is to the top right. You can see the little, if you look at the United States, I'm zooming in above Texas. There was some type of activity there with water, and we can see it on GOES 19. So this is a GOES 18 view, so I can see Hawaii, right? I can see Baja California, whatever. So that's GOES 18, and I think I don't know if it's GOES East or GOES West, but I'll call it 18. I'll call it Pacific. Going back to GOES 19, now this is the one where I get a ton of products. It's the most recent GOES spacecraft launch, I think, also. Going to full disk. I'm going to, you see it came down at 330, came down at 356. I think I go to 356 here. So it's about every 30 minutes, 20 or 30 minutes. I'm trying to pick a winner. All right. These are the products. So there's more, usually there's about 16 there. I don't think the full set had downloaded. There's the Earth as of whatever day I recorded this, June 23rd, 3 days ago. And you can see the clouds, and it's a false color image of Earth. And there's a sun. I'm kind of showing the sun where it is at 3:30 in the afternoon. So there's that cloud we saw above Texas from the infrared view from GOES 18. You can see Florida. It's pretty sweet. Things I wish I could see on this. I like to see aurora, but I don't know if they come in or not. I like to see a lunar eclipse. I don't know if that comes in or not, but it's pretty fantastic. What I like doing is, okay, there's the long wave view. Oh, I'm scrolling through the different views here. One of these views, they put a map on the continent so you can kind of see the outline of, like, Brazil, whatever. I'm going to scroll through these products. There's the map. Okay, Argentina, Africa to the right. You can see the Terminator in that first picture where the sun's setting, and it's coming soon. But the main thing I like about this is you see how fleeting the days are, right? If you look at that, these are different views that come down. You can read the top, shortwave window, stuff like that. You can see precipitation, water vapor, etc. You can see how fleeting your days are. The sun is ripping across, right? The Earth's rotating is 1,000 miles an hour, roughly, if we're 25,000 miles in diameter, and the day is 24 hours a day. It's about 1,000 miles an hour. You can kind of see the Terminator here. This is the main camera on GOES, this dark black and white one, and it builds the false color from it. There's some more pictures. So these are the products you get. So you get the dish, you put it out in the yard, you put it in the garden, you put the wire to it, you bring it to your PC, you let it chug, and like sand through the hourglass, these are the days of your lives. I'm trying to think what I'm doing here. Okay, I think I'm trying to find my movie. And so I took, on the 22nd, I did make a little movie here. I think that's what I'm going for, because I had to re-record this. So let's pop it open. And this was just visible light, the false color image, but it's, it's accurate. Waiting for it to load. Okay. So this was at 10:30 Saturday morning, and you can see, boom, there goes your day, your Saturday. You wait all week for Saturday, boom, there it is. It's Saturday night, 9:30, because it's summer solstice. It finally gets dark. You can see the Earth come around back in the morning. It's still not morning in the East Coast. Now here we are the next day. There's a couple of lines of data loss. I'm not sure what happened there, clouds or trees or humans. And so the first day was Saturday. This is Sunday. And go to bed, get ready to go back to work, because here comes Monday, 1,000 miles an hour. And then I cut it off, I think, at 10:30 Monday morning. Yep. So that's what you get out of the Nooelec GOES bundle. It's fantastic. If you have a pole, you don't have to buy a tripod like I did. You can just clamp it to something. You got to have that southern view, right? 160 degrees, 50 degrees elevation. Definitely 5 thumbs up. If I had any complaints on the package, I would say the instructions aren't that well written. I think that the instructions were written for a previous mounting that they had, and the new mount doesn't have the same instructions. The mount could be better. You could put numbers on it. You could put the 45, 50 on it, whatever. It's fine. It's out there. The spiders love it, right? The LNA is in a waterproof box. I wanted to make sure that you guys understood. The reason I'm putting the LNA in a box is because of rain. And it just plugs and chugs all day long. So long story short, highly recommended. And it's fun downloading satellites. And you can download other satellites besides GOES. I made a couple videos on Meteor. It's more like fishing, right? You set your pole and you wait for the bite, and you hope this GOES just plugs and chugs. Again, thanks for watching. Hopefully everybody found this useful. Thank you.